What's good, everybody? It's your boy Almighty Foil, and I know it's been a while since you've heard this lovely voice, but Lost Colony is almost here. And with that, it means we have a huge amount of news, so without further ado, let's get into it. The end of the arcs, the genesis of a new saga. Lost Colony is shaping up to be one of the biggest and game-changing DLCs ARC has ever received. Lost Colony is a very story-driven DLC, being the bridge between Extinction and Genesis. In this frozen wasteland, we will have to compete not only with the harsh environments, but a powerful monarch known as the Lost King who rules over this wasteland by harnessing the power of radioactive red element. This unnatural heat source prevents the Reseed protocol, which is the protocol that calls down the arcs after the events of extinction. With the arcs not being able to come back safely or crashing near Arat Prime, this allows the corrupt monarch to remain the tyrant of this broken part of the earth. And as if that wasn't enough, an old foe has reared its ugly head up to spread its corruption and take over Arat Prime for himself. Rockwell has returned. With Aberration's arc being one of the arcs that crash landed near Arat Prime, it means that the corrupt scientist is free from his overseer prison. Caught in the middle of a war between these factions, it's up to us as survivors to either fight to preserve our humanity, or give in to the corruption of this broken world and become the monster this place demands us to be. A cinematic saga. Lost Colony will feature a lot more than just the normal cutscenes we've grown accustomed to after boss fights. The story of the Necroscene will be told through multiple new mediums. Animated sequences by acclaimed Japanese studio MAPPA that showcase the legendary warrior Mei Yin, voiced by Michelle Yeoh, and her journey throughout Arat Prime, and ultimately what her final fate is. Cinematic performance capture, which are high quality CGI story sequences with Madeline Madden as Helena Walker, I'm sorry if I butcher this, Aulihi Cravalho as Mika, and Carl Urban as Bob. The neural intrusion. You are not alone in your head. As the infection spreads, the Lost King, voiced by Keith David, will invade your thoughts, taunting your failures and commenting on your actions in real time. I'm curious to know what kind of infection they're referring to, but basically, we'll be getting rage baited by the Lost King every time we die or lose a tame, it sounds like. The Engram Codex. Unlock fully voiced character conversations by completing Lost Colony missions. Recover battlefield sigils to trigger JRPG-inspired dialogue sequences between Helena, Mei Yin, Diana Altaris, voiced by Katie Sackhoff, and other characters. Finally, living lore. Uncover the dark history of Arat Prime through fully voiced explorer notes and dossiers straight from the journals of Darius Anthem, the Lost King, and the mad scientist Sir Edmund Rockwell, voiced by David Tennant. A world of extremes, new biome. With the arrival of Lost Colony, there will also be a lot of new and dangerous biomes that will test your ability to survive. Starting with the Lost King's domain. This massive metropolis serves as a testament to the Lost King's power and influence over Arat Prime. Heavily guarded by the Thrall army, this dark dominion is safe, as long as you remain docile and obedient. But show any hostility towards the Lost King's followers, and you'll be met with relentless aggression. The Tundra. A frozen wasteland surrounding the perimeter of Arat Prime, littered with wreckage from a fallen ark. Twilight Forest and Mountains. A fantasy boreal nightmare, where the bioluminescent flora reacts dynamically to the auroras overhead. As you ascend, the forest thins into craggy peaks and knife-edged rocky spires. The Dark Forest. A twisted, foreboding woodland that serves as a gateway to the map's more dangerous zones. The Caldera. A collapsed volcanic crater which serves as the power center for the city, featuring a colossal ring functioning as the sacrificial pit for the Lost King. Hot springs scattered all across the map, offering survivors a vital respite from the bone-chilling cold. And last, but certainly not least, the Aberrant Crash Site. Hazardous toxic environments filled with radioactive flora and fauna twisted by the pools of liquid Edmundium. Did any rock drakes or reapers survive the crash? We'll have to play it to find out. Denizens of the Necroscene. This expansion also features a large list of new dangerous beasts for us to tame, starting with the Velwyn. This adorable little playful fox offers a sense of comfort in the eternal night. It's a loyal companion that defeats its foes with a chilling cryogenic bite and is able to create small wormholes to summon its pack for protection. Its true strength, however, comes from its potential to evolve into two separate forms. Which form it takes, it's completely up to you, the survivor. Soulwind. Witness the miraculous transformation as your Veilwind consumes Volpite, ascending to become the majestic Soulwind. Acting as a mobile sanctuary, it defies the cold while carrying you across glacial terrain and scaling sheer ice cliffs. Its enhanced healing factor revitalizes both Mount and Master in the waste. Command its cryokinesis to forge vital ice bridges or empower your next decisive strike with a surge of strength and speed. Ice bridges sounds crazy. I wonder how that's going to work. Malwyn. Born from corruption. The Malwyn is the embodiment of malice, existing solely for threat elimination. Its very presence is a curse. It uses teleabsorbic abilities to slow regenerative processes, induce sluggishness, and weaken its prey. Unlike its benevolent cousin, the Malwim cannot climb or forge ice bridges. Instead, it slides across the frozen waste, vanishing and striking from afar with potent teleportation. A Sidon, we know this beast pretty well, weaponized the Antarctic. This monstrous primate turns sub-zero temperatures into devastating weaponry. Dominate the battlefield by spitting cryogenic spikes to slow advancing enemies, or crush them by propelling massive rolling ice wrecking balls. Bond with the beast to unlock a new, unique symbiosis, a shared affinity so profound it physically reshapes the creature, dynamically morphing its frame to match its attributes. Gloom. It's Gloonin' time. A fever dream made manifest by the mad scientist Edmund Rockwell. This floating grotesque is a gift that carries a terrible curse. The gloom manipulates the spectrum with its terrifying precision. It can warp light to vanish into thin air or contract its bulbous ocular sacs to unleash searing laser beams. A master of trickery, wriggling its glowing pupils to mesmerize the weak-minded. But beware its spite. A single glob of this bilious spit will drive nearby aberrations and creatures into an uncontrollable, bloodthirsty frenzy. Guess who's back early on a perfect map for it? Desmodus, the master of the night, returns. This terrifying vampire bat thrives in the eternal darkness of the Necroscene. Use its echolocation to hunt prey across pitch black skies, latch on to cavern walls to ambush enemies from the shadows, and craft a potent sanguine elixir to enthrall even the most stubborn beasts. And now a creature that I knew was going to come with this expansion, the Cryolophosaurus. Anatomy meets artillery. This predator turns elements into ammunition, slurping up snow and water to fuel its biological cannon, launch a volley of narcotic sludge to sedate heavy targets, or exhale a freezing mist that coats your allies in a protective ice. In the heat of the hunt, the predator kicks into overdrive, igniting a hyper-metabolic trance that grants it terrifying speed and turns its jaws into instruments of bone-chilling destruction. Giga Desmodus, the true king of the Chiroterran skies. This colossus serves as a flying fortress, capable of hauling behemoths or a mobile command center on its back. It dominates the battlefield by raining down red element-infused blood to decimate foes from afar, or delivering a devastating tail execution of anyone foolish enough to challenge its reign. I'm curious of how big this thing's going to be, because it sounds like it's huge if it can support a fortress on the back, but then is it going to be able to carry more than the Rhino or the same amount? That's what I'm interested to see. I want to see how strong this thing is. Arlex, a telekinetic dragon that floats with eerie grace, embodying the celestial balance of yin and yang. Prove your worth to this serpentine garden to have it hatch from its chrysalis, then master its duality. Warp reality to protect, heal, and levitate allies, or crush enemies with gravity and death. Command the heavens with a mount whose massive coils can airlift two creatures simultaneously. Two creatures at once is crazy. That's gonna be game changing too. Thralls, the Lost King's bioengineered workforce. Unlike wild dinos, these intelligent soldiers wield weapons, wear armor, and use personal teleporters to defend their master. Build your own legion by earning their trust in defense outposts, or forcing their submission by raiding their strongholds in attack outposts, commanding them into battle, or even take control of them directly. Your thralls can also be used for various essential management tasks, such as resource harvesting or base maintenance. You'll be able to have your own NPC. I wonder how fleshed out these raids are going to be. If they're fleshed out like full PvP raids with turrets and everything, and snipers and thralls defending the base, this could be I'm excited. I've always wanted something like that in a DLC. This could be exciting. Gargoyles. Harvest them at your peril. These stone sentinels slumber as statues, but disturbing them awakens a relentless monstrosity. Neophytes. Feral, bat-like abominations standing as tall as a Gigantopithecus. Acting as the city's antibodies, they descend from the shadows to purge anyone generating hostility. Do not rely on your army to save you. These monsters possess a mutated hide nearly immune to creature attacks. That's crazy. Forcing you to draw on your own weapons and face them blade to claw. The fact that neophytes aren't able to be damaged by creatures is crazy. So they really want you to venture on foot more and fight on foot more. One thing I do hope is that they add a little more to the combat, maybe like blocking or some even like small combos, make it a little more like Conan. If they start to implement stuff like that, it's going to elevate the game to a whole new level. And finally, revenants. Twisted, mindless remnants of thralls and dinos that have been infected by liquid edmundium. These purple-hued monstrosities swarm the ruins in massive hordes, overwhelming survivors with sheer numbers. So if element vampires weren't enough for you, we've got element zombies as well. Command the legion. Thrall mastery. Recruit the damned. Choose your path to power. Earn the trust of the king's soldiers by defending them against revenant hordes in the defense outpost, or crush the resistance in the attack outpost to force their submission, whether through loyalty or fear. These soldiers will join your ranks to be leveled up like any other elite creature. You can either be hyper aggressive or try and make allies with the Lost King. I wonder how that's going to work, if they're going to be two separate endings or it's just one ending, or how each path determines what happens. Tactical modes. Automate your survival with 3 distinct behaviors. Set thralls to guard mode to patrol and defend your perimeter. Logistics mode to automatically sort and organize your base inventories. Or harvest mode to gather specific resources while you explore. Let's hope they're a little less buggy than Survivor Mate. Total possession. Assume direct control of any thrall in your army via Neuralink. With no limits or range on duration, you can use their expendable lives to scout lethal territory or equip them in your own high tier weaponry to turn the tide of battle. That's insane. So you can have your own personal army and just have them anywhere. For PvP, you can just send an army into a base, just carrying rockets. That's insane. Class warfare. Each thrall belongs to a specialized combat class with distinct visuals, heavy natural armor, and a signature class weapon. While they cannot wear survivor armor, their innate resilience and firepower makes them a force to be reckoned with. So no ascendant flak for them, so that helps a little bit with balancing. I wonder how strong that natural armor is though. Traits. Just like your tames, thralls can earn unique traits that enhance their combat performance and open deeper customization paths for your infantry. Beast Riders. Thralls are trained for war, not companionship. Order these elite enforcers to seize the reins of your beasts, transforming primal creatures into disciplined war machines piloted by cold, calculating executioners. That's huge, especially for solo players. No more having to ride the Yudi yourself or Mammoth or anything like that. They should be able to do the buffs for you, so that's amazing. I've been wanting something like that for the longest, so that's nice to see. Survivor enhancements. Your leadership defines their strength. Invest in the Beastmaster skill tree to unlock passive buffs, such as Husk's Resilience and Violence Made Manifest, which boosts the damage and defense of every thrall you command. Sounds like the skill tree is going to get a lot bigger. Gothic Engineering. Items, structures, and cosmetics. Along with the new creatures and gameplay aspects, there's also a whole host of new items, starting with the Fabricated Crossbow. A high-tech twist on a classic that supports nearly every bolt, arrow, and harpoon projectile. Switch between classic mode for standard fire, sniper mode for long-range takedowns, or shotgun mode for crowd control. Tech Spear, the ultimate melee range hybrid. Master the flow of combat with a blink dash to evade damage or teleport straight to your own thrown weapon. Switch modes to inflict torpor for non-lethal takedowns or raise the defensive field that blocks strikes and deflects incoming projectiles. That's going to be insane. Tech Spear is going to be revolutionary for PvP, for fights on foot. That's going to be crazy, especially you can just teleport past walls if you throw the spear. If you have a soaker, you have the soaker distract the turrets, you throw the spear past, and you can just teleport up to the wall. They're gonna have to be careful to balance in on that. Hollow Decoy. Deploy a holographic clone of your survivor to distract wild creatures and lure enemies into traps. That's perfect. Blood Forge, a sinister new crafting station that can repair any item or reinforce it beyond its maximum durability for a price paid in blood. Probably gonna be blood packs or some new blood resource, but the fact that we can reinforce maximum durability, I'm all for that. Warbench. Don't throw away any low tier loot. Combine 3 low quality items to forge a single higher tier piece. Finally, no more vaults full of trash stuff or having to grind it up. You can just take 3 and make something usable. I'm all for that too. Medical Stand. Connect this versatile station to nearby creatures to auto feed narcotics for simplified taming, administer stimulants or blood packs to restore vital stats, or drain health to generate a new supply. So this will probably be where we get the blood from. And auto feeding narcotics means you can just put the food in, put that little station down, boom, you don't even have to worry about a tame. That's we've been asking for something like that for forever. Cryo Hospital, a tech tier storage unit that passively grants experience points, provides sustenance, heals, and restores consciousness for creatures stored inside cryopods. So if you accidentally cryo-stick something, just pop it in the cryo hospital, boom, it'll wake right back up. Shoulder pet display stand and companion bed. Show off your favorite little friends. Place them on wall-mounted or standing displays where they will perform idle animations and watch passersby. That's going to add so much life to bases. Proto-plant species are a twisted carnivorous botanical nightmare native to the frozen wastes. While this indigenous meat plant sits silent in the gloom, it hides a deadly defense mechanism. Harvesting its resources triggers a silent alarm, instantly drawing a swarm of ravenous revenants from the shadows. Cursed weaponry and armor. Wield the forbidden tools of the Necroscene. These twisted variants of fabricator and tech tier gear offer unprecedented customization. allowing you to equip 2 traits simultaneously, with further lethality unlocked via the skill tree. However, this power demands a sacrifice. These corrupted instruments cannot be repaired by standard means, instead regenerating slowly over time or demanding a blood tithe at the sinister blood forge. A lot of ascendant weapons are pretty expensive to repair, so if we can have tools that auto repair slowly over time, or just sacrifice a dodo real quick and I'll get it repaired, I'm fine with that. That's so much better. Tech bunker and base templating system. These have both been out for a little while if you bought Lost Colony early. Arctic armor. Traverse the tundra with unhindered agility. This light fur set provides the same vital insulation as heavy fur without the crushing weight, granting a stamina surge to survivors who equip the full set. It's interesting to finally see full set bonuses. Hopefully this means we get more of those, because I know there's some overhaul mods that give you a full set bonus, so it's nice to see us finally getting some in the vanilla game. The look of the Legion. Embrace the aesthetic of the Lost King's army. Don new Thrall themed armor and weapon skins. Outfit your tames with regimented Thrall saddles, or vanish into the whiteout with the tactical snow ghillie. Wildcard always does an amazing job with the skins, so I'm excited to see how these look. Barracks of the Damned. Renovate your base with the Thrall structure tile set and full suite of themed decor, from commanding billboards and signs to industrial vaults, storage boxes, lamps, and furniture. Build a fortress worthy of the necro scene. Hopefully it's more than just skins and we get actual structures with it. It seems like it's skins and structures, but we'll see how. I guess we'll see. The Ascent. Campaign, outposts, and skill trees. This DLC is a lot more than just normal wake up on a beach, survive, and beat the bosses. There's a lot more that comes with this DLC, gameplay wise. Expand the endgame with outpost missions. These repeatable dynamic encounters are more than just battles. They are the choices that define your allegiance in the necro scene. So every raid that you do or defense matters. Defense outpost. Prove your loyalty to the crown. Stand shoulder to shoulder with the Lost King's thralls to defend their fortress against waves of mindless revenants. Succeed to earn the king's favor, lowering his army's hostility towards you as his voices guide your every move from the shadows. Attack outpost. Choose defiance. Breach the fortified strongholds of the Thrall legions, destroy their command structures, and loot the king's stockpiles to fuel your rebellion. Resource caches. Secure your survival in the open field by claiming valuable supply drops before scavenging hordes of neophytes and wild creatures overrun them. Sounds a lot like OSDs in a way. Lost Colony skills. Over 70 skills and milestones. Unlock 3 powerful new progression paths. Wayfarer path. Master skills like temporal retreat to rewind your position, bloodlust to gain speed on kills, or siphoning rounds to heal yourself in a firefight. Beastmaster path. Forge a blood bond with your tames. Sacrifice your own HP to frenzy your mount with sacrificial power. Summon spirit beasts to fight by your side, or empower your possessed thralls with husks of reliance. That sounds like some Elden Ring kind of stuff. The spirit beast, same with the spirit summons. I wonder if it's specific beast, or if you can choose, or it chooses, or the random. I don't know how that's gonna work. And then sacrificing your own HP to frenzy your mount sounds a lot like, I believe it was Seppuku, where you stab yourself and then empower the blade with blood flame. It's something similar to that kinda. Utility path. Master the environment. Use Wisp of Industry to construct complex fortifications in hard to reach places. Cold-blooded to extend spoil timers, or the Midas touch to turn resources into gold for massive yields. March to the throne. Your path leads to the Lost King's palace, looming over the city. Conquer dynamic outpost missions to weaken the king's grip on the realm. As you dismantle his defenses and secure the sigils of his lieutenants, the gates to the citadel will open, but the king is not the only nemesis waiting for you in the dark. Definitely Mayan. It's definitely Mayan, I think. That's a nice way to change up progression. You have to take down outposts to find your way in, to be able to enter inside the castle. That's an interesting way to change up the gameplay loop of just either missions or artifacts. That's interesting. The Lost King awaits in his Stygian court, weighing if you have the strength to survive the darkness. And there you have it, folks. Everything that's coming with the brand new Lost Colony expansion tonight. Like I said earlier, there's a whole lot in this DLC. This is going to be completely game changing. This will change Ark as we know it forever. And it's releasing tonight, barring any, delays. Which part of the DLC are you most excited for? For me, it's definitely the base rating and NPCs. I've been waiting to relive my glory days in Ark PvP, and what better way than blowing up some NPCs. Like mentioned earlier, if the raids are fully fleshed out with turrets and proper defenses as well, this can make PvE so much more exciting. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below on what you're excited for. Since this is a brand new DLC, I'll be doing a survival series playthrough of the entire thing. So stay tuned for that and more exciting Ark Fight Club battle videos. If you'd like to watch my journey through this dangerous DLC, I'll be live on Twitch playing through the DLC once it releases. Thank you all for your amazing support. This has been Almighty Foil, signing off.